Strategic Plan, Strategy Huddle, visiting strategy leader Daryl Vanderwilt.
Daryl,
Hi.
are you with us? We can hear you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, fantastic. Well, this is Daryl from Iowa, and picking up on what has been said, let's talk about Government Plus in terms of their support of strategic planning. This will be a rather unique approach, and it involves a major project as a part of a formal organization that the government has provided us a $1 million grant to, in effect, strengthen training and technical assistance and sub-grant awards to under-resourced areas of the country. And so our organization is the Iowa Center for Faith-Based and Community Initiatives that submitted a proposal to the government, to the Department of Health and Human Services. Get this, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, Strengthening Communities Fund, that's where the fund is, and the specific program within that fund is the Nonprofit Capacity Building Program. And they emphasize the importance of nonprofits throughout the country who pick up most of the care to under-resourced persons. And their gamble is if we can find intermediary organizations throughout the country, and they've picked 34, of which the Iowa Center is one, and we can have the intermediary organization provide training, technical assistance, and sub-grant awards to worthy grassroots nonprofit, small nonprofit organizations in their locales, that we can serve the underserved even better and more of them. And so we have a 2-year grant to be formed into 2 cycles, the first starting in April and going through December of 2010, and the second cycle starting in January and going to September of 2011. So within a 9-month time period, we must deliver, again, training and technical assistance and grant awards to perhaps up to 30-plus organizations that have been identified through a competitive process, and make them into a greater capacity building organization than they were when they started. So what we have done in our proposal is describe the M3 planning process. In the appendix, we've included MP planning paper materials so they could get a good sense of what we have to do and have to offer. I think the feds were impressed with the capacity for training and also distance learning. And so this is what we'll be doing. Starting on April the 7th and going to April the 21st and also May the 5th, we will be bringing all of these first-level cycle organizations, about 17 of them, their team members, to a central source, and part of the session, the day-long session, will be 3 presentations and then breakout sessions. We'll start with mission, and each of them has already provided a proposal that lists out their current mission statement. And so we will encourage them to take another look at their mission statement. So the first part of a session will be about a 5-minute little presentation of the 3 bullet point questions of a mission statement, what it is, and our leader will further maybe enhance those just a bit, but then they'll break out for about 45 minutes of discussion and work on a preliminary basis of their mission statement. And this will be then, they will operate off of a paper packet. in which the box, is for them to start to draft out their mission statement if they don't have one, but most of them have a mission statement. This will be a time to enhance their mission statement based upon some of the examples that can be found in the guide, the practical guide to nonprofit strategic planning.
Hey, Daryl, this is Erica.
Yeah.
Will you share with us, maybe as perfect segue here, some of the challenges and opportunities that you are seeing that the organizations you're helping are experiencing in today's economic climate, and what some of the strategic challenges or opportunities that they're facing, just as the sort of nonprofits in general?
Yes, we had a test run in 2007 using M3 planning with 4 organizations, and as the proposals come in, strategic planning is right up on top of the platter, as is volunteerism, because of a need to stretch their resources. They can't afford new staff, so they need the resources of volunteerism. We, of course, are going into the southeast part of the state of Iowa with the highest unemployment and economic indicators, and so each of them are finding people coming to them with just a host of problems, most of them economic, and so part of this grant too will be helping them plan how they will address the employment assistance and benefits needs of their clients. This is capacity building. It's not service delivery. So it's building up the muscles of the organization to address these issues, as you have asked me to talk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And maybe, Daryl, if you could just summarize for us, kind of from your perspective, maybe, a couple of key takeaways or key actions for the other folks that are on the call today. If they're a nonprofit, what they, from your perspective, what are the best practices they should be employing in capacity building as they're putting their strategic plans together? What would you tell them?
Well, I think our approach is pretty across the board type of thing, where you get groups together, the teams together to strategize their mission, their vision, their values, and their SWOTs, for example, and play around with this, and then place it into their M3 planning system, so that it can be reviewed across the organization. We have 7 staff members working with us, so that they can then review the progress of their strategic planning as they put into it the various aspects of what the 9 months will mean to their organization and how they will spend their money. We're giving each about up to $20,000 to be spent within the 9-month period to bring in consultants, to go travel to conferences and all that. And so it's a great way to monitor what's going on within the organization. And so it's a combination of on-site and off-site, on-site training, off-site technical assistance.
Gotcha. I think it's super exciting what Daryl is doing to sort of mass impact nonprofit organizations across the state of Iowa. And I want to just say that we, of course, all the strategy leaders on the phone today believe so strongly in the impact that strategic planning can have on an organization and how much more effective that folks can be in their resources that they have generated or they have been granted. And Daryl's mass application of the strategic planning process to, it sounds like, almost 30 different nonprofits is something that he's been using our tools to help deploy, but his staff as the consultants and as the coaches to help these organizations be more successful. And I just want to put out there, Daryl, we'd like to have you come back in 6 months or 8 months to report back on how how's it going? How are these organizations doing? Are they making the progress that we think they should be making by deploying the strategic planning process in their organization? I think
Absolutely.
That would be
We're being
really
evaluated. Our external evaluator from the University of Iowa is interested in the same thing.
Okay.
The government is very interested in technical assistance, which online coaching through M3 planning is ideal.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Daryl, I want to thank you for joining us and sharing, and we'll have Daryl back to report on the results, because it's all about the results.